Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by Honda. We've been fans since day one. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and proud fan since 1977.
Welcome back to Cleveland, and this is game 2 of a doubleheader, and what a game we had in game 1. The Blue Jays win 13-11. They pound out a season-high 17 hits, and a lot of big days offensively for the Blue Jays hitters. Yervis Solarte, his first 5-hit game of his career, and his first career grand slam. Take a look at the lineup. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He was down in the order. He is now hitting leadoff. Donaldson in game 1 went 3 for 7 with a home run. Then he drove in 3. He is the DH for game 2. Yervis Solarte 5 for 6, his first 5-hit game of his career and his first career grand slam. They are set to face the right-hander just called up for this game, Adam Plutko.
Plutko is a 26-year-old right-hander. This is his debut for 2018. He made 3 appearances with the team last year. These are his numbers in AAA. His last start in AAA came on April the 28th. He threw 7 2/3 no-hit, no-run innings. The reason he was taken out, he had hit his pitch limit of 95 pitches. They brought him out with the thought of pitching him here in the second game. Spent 3 stints again with the Indians last season. Had some hip problems with them last season, so he will pitch game 2.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. had a 3-hit game in game 1. He's leading off for the first time in his young career. Takes the first pitch breaking ball for strike 1. Gurriel's average now at 256. Chases that pitch away. A little frustrated at himself as he went after a bad pitch.
Scouting report on Adam Plutko is he's a strike thrower. He's going to keep the ball around the plate. Fastball, a little bit of a slider and a changeup. Curveball has some sweeping action to it, but he throws a lot of strikes.
One and 2 to Gurriel. Gets after that pitch off the plate, stays alive. Plutko is 26, as Pat mentioned. He's from Upland, California. 11th round pick in 2013 in the June draft.
Steadily made his way up through the farm system.
Played baseball at UCLA. Same place as his teammate Trevor Bauer. A couple of UCLA Bruins on this pitching staff. Plutko getting the chance to pitch here, making his first big league start. Blue Jays, boy, what a determined win they had in game 1. They had a 5-0 lead at one point in the ball game, and then the Indians scored 7 runs in the bottom of the 4th. Josh Donaldson tied it up with a 2-run home run in the 6th. Kevin Pillar extended his hit streak to 8 straight games.
We talked, it seemed like the whole game, about how tough it is mentally to keep strapping it on and keep coming back.
Gurriel called out on that high strike. 1 away. Let's take a look at the defense, and there's some changes in the field. Michael Brantley starts in left field. Zimmer is in center, and Naquin is in right.
I think you always got to highlight this guy right here, Francisco Lindor. He did make an error in the first game. He also hit a home run, and he had 33 home runs last year as a shortstop, most by a major league shortstop since Hanley Ramirez hit 33 back in 2008. He's an offensive force, but he's also a great defender.
1 away for Josh Donaldson. Donaldson went 3 for 7 in the first game, scored 3 and drove in 3. The highlight of game 1 might have been when he was asking the umpire, who's the new pitcher coming into the game? Nick Goody. And then the first pitch he saw from Goody, he hit into the seats to tie it up.
Yeah, it's almost like he wanted to go back and get some confirmation. Okay, is this the guy who I think it is? Because everybody was wearing number 42 because it was Jackie Robinson Day here in game 1. He went back, got his scouting report, said, okay, hanging slider will be the first pitch. Got it and knocked it out of the ballpark.
Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Donaldson.
And to that I say, is it that easy?
Yeah, not for the normal people. Josh Donaldson missed 18 games and picked it up right where he left off. Too high. 2-2 now. Donaldson hit a pair of doubles as well as that 2-run home run. Roberto Perez is doing the catching in game 2 for Pletko. Outside 93.
Yeah, pretty straight fastball. His biggest assets is his pitchability, his ability to throw strikes, move the ball around the strike zone.
High pop-up into left field, a sky-high pop-up. Brantley moving underneath it, and he's there to make the catch. 2 outs. The Blue Jays winning an extra inning game, improved to 4-0 in extra innings, while the Indians fall to 0-4 in extra innings, and they're also 3-3 against the American League East now. They show the loss of not having Andrew Miller available, nor the fact they don't have Brian Shaw any longer. It's the 7th loss this season after the Indians held the lead. Teoscar Hernandez takes a curveball for strike 1. Ball on the strike.
Teoscar had a pretty decent game in the first game. Got off to a bit of a slow start, but then had a double and a stolen base in the 8th inning. He had a walk and he scored right before that grand slam by Solarte. Tremendous at bat against Olsen.
He also made a terrific throw to gun down Tyler Naquin in the 10th inning. Naquin singled to right, tried to stretch it to 2, and Teoscar threw him out.
His double was a line drive to right field that hit the base of the wall on a fly. I mean, if he could have got some air underneath that, he would have had a home run, but he's really shown a great ability to go the other way now.
He gets a piece of that to stay alive.
And that's where they've been living. They've been showing some pitches inside, but they've been staying away from them.
Teoscar with that double in the 8th inning extended his hit streak to a career high 9 straight games. Strikes out. Good inning for the starter Adam Pletko, making his first big league start. 3 up, 3 down with a pair of strikeouts. Joe Biagini will take the hill when we come back to Cleveland. This club now has lost all 4 of its extra inning games this season, and they had to go deep into their bullpen, so they're looking for a little extended outing from Adam Pletko. The Indians are 16-14, first in the AL Central, and they got a terrific player top of their lineup. Francisco Lindor went 3 for 6 with a pair of home runs, drove in 4. And then Jose Ramirez, the DH in game 2, he went 3 for 5 with a pair of doubles, and he scored the tying run in the 8th inning when he scored all the way from first on that error by Solarte.
Blue Jays are looking for an extended outing also from Joe Biagini, who will come up and make his second start of the season. Blue Jays used 7 relievers in game number 1, so Joe's got to go deep. In that first game against Kansas City, through 5 2/3 innings, allowed 3 runs. He's never started a game against the Indians, although he's appeared in 4 games in relief. He hasn't given up a run here in Cleveland in 3 innings.
Lindor with a mighty cut on the first pitch he sees from Biagini. Biagini making his 5th career appearance, as Pat mentioned, his first start. Joe, when he made his previous start this season on the 17th of April against Kansas City, he was a little bit tentative in the first inning. Pete Walker came out and encouraged him to work a little quicker. Boy, it turned around for him after that.
You're right. It looked like he was trying to make the perfect pitch. He was slow in between pitches, picked up the pace, and got into the 6th inning. Got to be careful with this guy. Lindor hit a long home run in that first game.
Good curveball, and Lindor strikes out. Couldn't check his swing. 1 away. A couple changes for the Blue Jays. Dwight Smith Jr. is making his first start of the season in left field. He was a defensive replacement in game 1, and the old veteran is over at first base, Kendrys Morales.
Yeah, making his second start of the season at first base. Justin Smoke is not here. He's on paternity leave. Steve Pearce had to leave the game in the first game earlier today. He's on the disabled list, so Kendrys Morales will get the start here in game number 2.
Jason Kipnis did not start in game 1. He came in as a pinch hitter. Late in the ball game, he finished up 0 for 3. Batting .193 on the season.
The Blue Jays made all kind of moves in between the games today.
Biagini was activated. Gifting Gope was designated for assignment. Diaz has it, throws out Kipnis. 2 away. Pearce was put on the DL. Gifted Gope was designated for assignment. Dwight Smith was active for game 1. He's starting game 2.
Danny Barnes was sent down in between the games. Get another arm. Luis Santos was brought up, so the Blue Jays have another fresh arm in their bullpen.
And there's Smith Jr. in left field. 2 outs for Jose Ramirez. He's the DH in game 2. Curveball for strike 1.
Boy, if he can get that thing over tonight, that big hard curveball, he's going to be just fine.
Joe is now 27 years old. Another curveball, that one's in the dirt. His 20th career start of his young career. Make the transition into the rotation this year a little more normal transition than he had last year when he actually made the transition from reliever to starter in the majors.
Yeah, you can see now he looks like a starter. Taking that full windup.
Line to Gurriel at second. Quick inning for Joe Biagini. He throws just 10 pitches to retire the side in order. Things off for the Blue Jays in the top of the second. This was the third inning in game one when he tagged and advanced to third base, and he did a face plant just before he got to third.
Yeah, he got up and shook it off, had a couple more hits, including this one. The bomb to left field, a grand slam home run. That was in the top of the 11th. 4 RBIs. He also had a 2-run single. He had 6 RBIs. And he's saying, I need that ball right there. That's my first grand slam. What a day.
A terrific day indeed. His first 5-hit game of his career. 3 singles, a double, and a grand slam home run. 8 home runs now for Solarte on the season. You can see he's wearing that bandage on his upper lip. He slid in and looks like it's pretty well swollen up now here in game 2.
Well, whatever you did in that first game, hitting-wise, keep it going here. I mean, have a monster day. Now, he took the advantage of the shift his first 2 times up and sliced a couple of balls to left field. For some reason, they pitched him away. Played him the pull, but pitched him away.
He had 7 plate appearances. He walked in the 8th. He was 5 for 6. Hit a single to left, a double to left, single to right. He's another single to left, and a grand slam into the seats and left.
In his only out, he was robbed by a great play by the second baseman. Remember, they were in the shift, and he hit it past the first baseman. And Encarnacion had to get back because the second baseman had gone out in the short right field, made a great play and threw him out. He easily could have had 6 knocks.
Curveball drilled to the alley in right center. Get up, ball, get up, get out of here, gone! Home run Solarte, his 2nd of the day. His 9th of the season. Boy, he waited on that breaking ball and hammered it to the seats in deep right center.
He was telling me the other day in Minnesota, saying, I'm seeing a lot of breaking balls, and it's because I'm hitting 4th and I'm hitting my share of home runs. He gets another breaking ball, and you're right, he really stayed back on that thing nicely. He didn't let those hands get firing until he saw the ball and recognized that it was a curveball. It's an overhand curveball from Plutko. Stays back and then lets him fire through. Boy, what a pretty swing with power.
Boy, he got a lot of that ball, barreled it up and used one hand to keep that bat through the hitting zone. Wasn't a bad pitch. It was one he liked. 22 RBIs now for Solarte. Not every home run is a mistake.
Well, there's the curveball grip. It's starting to bend and down, but you can see he recognizes it and stays down and goes through it. Look how his legs go down and get that ball. Love this shot right here. That is a long way out there. 397 feet for that home run. He hit his grand slam right-handed, and this one left-handed.
He appeared down to the first base umpire, crew chief Jerry Davis, and he said no swing from Pilar. Pilar out in front on that front foot, pops it up to the third baseman as Gonzalez waits, makes the catch. One away. Solarte's home run, the grand slam, came as a right-handed hitter. That's his 4th home run as a right-handed hitter. He now has 9 home runs, so 5 of them have come as a lefty. He's just a good hitter.
Yeah. Gotten off to a great start last year. Didn't hit a 7th home run till the middle of June. Yeah, we're all over you.
Kenrys Morales is playing at first base. He had a tough game in game 1. He finished up 0 for 6 with a couple of strikeouts. Actually hit the ball sharply a couple of times early in the game. In the 2nd inning and the 5th inning, he lined out to left. Little pop-up, long run for Gonzalez. He was playing in the shift. It'll drop in foul ground.
That's one time the shift cost you an out right there. He was playing almost straightaway shortstop. If he was playing in his normal position, that would have been an easy catch for the second out. But Morales has life.
High fly ball into right. Naquin moving under it, waits for it, and makes the catch. Morales is retired 2-away. The Pitch Tracker is brought to you by Coors Light, official beer of Major League Baseball. So Dwight Smith Jr. will get his first at bat in the big leagues this season. He's hitting .230 at AAA Buffalo. 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs. Like a pretty good pitch. Called the ball. Swinging a drive to left field. Brantley back on the edge of the warning track. He'll make the catch just shy of the wall in left. Yervis Solarte's having a big day in Cleveland. A leadoff home run in the second. His 9th home run of the season gives him 22 RBIs. His second home run of the day.
You know, of all the changes baseball has made in the pace of play, the one that has helped Joe Biagini the most is that pitch clock they have down in the minor leagues. The Blue Jays want his tempo to speed up as he gets out there on the mound, take less time between pitches, minimize his thought process. A big focus with Biagini is working with that tempo, and it's gone well. So much so that the report Bob Stanley sent from Biagini's last AAA start was, quote, outstanding. The Blue Jays have found Joe's curveball has been sharp and his repertoire is working overall in Buffalo. But now, Buck, comes the big question: can it translate at the big league level?
Well, it will translate if he throws it over. That's a big concern for Pete Walker. I think everybody has always thought Joe Biagini has big league stuff. He had a lot of success, obviously, as a reliever when he first came up. And I always thought he would make a good starter, but he was so deliberate and so slow in his delivery. I think it really put a lot of pressure on himself. Now the tempo's much better. He's throwing a lot of strikes, and that'll make any pitcher better.
Yeah, don't go too far. Don't stray too far from that pitching rubber. He gets the ball and just go. That or put a pitch clock in the dugout. You know, in the Blue Jays dugout, if that helps him to hurry up. He's going to have to make pitches against this guy. Michael Brantley has worn out the Blue Jays in his career. We all know he's a great hitter, but in the first game, he got his first base hit to left field this season. He normally sprays the ball all over the field.
Sharply hit past Gurriel into right. That's the 4th hit of the day for Brantley. He's going to try to turn, but he is stopped by Hernandez. Brantley was 3 for 5 in game 1. He gets a base hit in his first AB here in game 2.
Came into game number 1 with a career 363 batting average against the Blue Jays, and he just keeps rolling. You mentioned the 3 hits, and now here's another one. Just yanks it past Gurriel into right field.
There are so many different ways to hit in the major leagues. That was a great example of Brantley not taking any stride at all, just trusting his hands to get to the ball, and he did it. Yonder Alonso, he came into the ball game as a pinch hitter and struck out against Osuna. That was in the bottom of the 11th.
Representing the tying run at the plate. This guy's got 8 home runs and 21 driven in. Osuna buckled down and got him.
He struck him out after Encarnacion had a 2-run single. Missed with that curveball. Ball and a strike.
Blue Jays are shifting their defense now on a 1-1 count. Solarte is going to play where he played in game 1, second base. Diaz now in his familiar position at shortstop. The reason you do that, you keep that third baseman over there at the beginning of that count just in case Alonso thinks about dropping down a bunt. But once it gets to strike 1, then you can move Solarte over there, put Diaz where he normally has to. Now anything on the ground, they're in their right positions. It'll help you to turn a double play a lot easier.
1-2 to Alonso. Missed upstairs with the fastball, and it evens the count. Alonso batting .212 for the season, 8 homers and 21 RBIs. His first season with the Indians. Last year he split his time between Oakland and Seattle. Hit 28 home runs and drove in 67 runs for the year. High fly ball to right. Not deep enough. Hernandez on the warning track makes the catch. Alonso out in front of that curveball that hits a fly ball to right. One away now as the double play is in order with Tyler Naquin coming to the plate. Naquin came in the ballgame as a defensive replacement in right field, finished up 1 for 2. He had a base hit and was thrown out trying to advance to second base by Teoscar Hernandez in the 10th inning. It was the second out of the inning. Tim Meza on the mound at the time.
That was a huge play by Hernandez. He got a single. He had that. He was trying to stretch it into a double. But you have to be 100% sure you're going to make it just by who's coming up after you.
Top of the order.
You had Lindor coming up, and now he's hitting with 2 outs and nobody on. Instead of 1 out runner at first base, maybe he can punch a ball over there. Maybe he can hit a double.
Brantley's running as Naquin fouls it off.
But a great play nonetheless by Teoscar in right field.
Terrific throw. 1-hop strike to second base. And on that play, that's when Aledmus Diaz had some sort of wrist injury momentarily. Dropped his glove and ran to the outfield, but he never missed any time. But he got his glove stuck between the shoulder of Naquin and his knee. Biagini's ahead 0-2. Naquin takes strike 3. I don't know what he was looking for there, but it looked like Biagini just came at him with a good pitch and strikes him out. Second strikeout for Biagini.
Looked like a little cutter right there that he paints on the outside corner to Naquin. Maybe he was thinking curveball. Here comes the cutter. A little action right at the end and framed up nicely by Maile.
2 outs now for Roberto Perez. He's the only position player that did not get into the game for the Indians in game 1. There's a good strike thrown by Biagini. Very aggressive with that fastball.
Joe looks very fresh here early going. His fastball's got some zip to it.
Strike two. Roberto Perez hitting 111. He has a home run. The only run he has driven in came on that home run. 0-2. Comes right back and throws another good pitch. That fastball catches the outside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for Biagini. Leadoff single and nothing more. The Indians leave a base runner. Jays have a 1-0 lead.
On a travel team in Southern California when they were both in high school. Sanchez, of course, drafted and signed out of high school. Plutko went the other route, going to UCLA, winning a College World Series there. Even then, as teenagers, Sanchez said Plutko was always polished, always had command of the strike zone. Aaron says he keeps up with a lot of those players he came up with just to keep an eye on how some of his old teammates are doing, and now he has the best view in the house to see his old pal work. Guys?
Absolutely. And Aaron came from Barstow, California. Plutko came from Upland, California. And another guy that Sanchez keeps his eye on, Vince Velasquez of the Phillies. Big hard-throwing pitcher. At the time they played together, Velasquez was a position player playing shortstop and swinging the bat pretty well.
He can swing the bat right there. Sanchez was telling us about that when we were playing Phillies last year, and we watched him take BP. He's impressive.
Luke Maley appeared in game one as a pinch hitter. He walked, had a good at bat, fouled off a couple of pitches and drew a walk.
That was with 2 outs in the 11th inning. 2 outs, nobody on, and he started that 4-run rally with that walk.
He was pinch hitting for Curtis Granderson, and Donaldson hit a double. Maley stopped at third. They walked Hernandez, and then the grand slam. Pull on the ground. Gonzalez at third base. Had plenty of time to retire Maley. One away.
As a manager, you're just trying to initiate some kind of spark like that. 2 out, nobody on. There was a lefty out on the mound. He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to hit Maley, but it worked out for Gibby. I'm sure his thinking was, hey, let's get Maley on base and see if Donaldson can get the job done. The whole key to that inning, I thought then, was the walk to Teoscar Hernandez.
He had a good at bat as well as he worked the walk to load the bases ahead of Donaldson.
Yeah, Donaldson had doubled second and third. Teoscar walked, and then the home run by Solarte.
By Solarte, of course. Ledmus Diaz waves at that breaking ball down and away. Fouled straight back. So 1-2.
Three extra base hits in game number 1 for Josh. making it look easy.
It's a high changeup. It looked like something that came out of his hand. It finished it up very effectively. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Aledmys Diaz. Diaz batting 9th. Gurriel is on deck. Popped up shallow center field. The second baseman Kipnis backing into the outfield. Diaz is retired, 2 away.
Stepping in now for Toronto, second baseman Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. was called out on strikes his first time up. Leading off for the first time in his career. I think John Gibbons feels like he can do anything with him, whether he plays him at short, second, bats him top of the order or bottom of the order. Goes after the first pitch and lifts a high fly ball. It's not deep enough in the big part of the ballpark. Plutko, 3 up, 3 down, no problem in the third, but Blue Jays still have that 1-0 lead.
Blue Jays members log into My Blue Jays and enter the code MBJ 8703 to earn My Blue Jays points for watching the broadcast. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage, and the code, as always, must be entered by 4 a.m. Buck?
Thank you very much. A lot of Blue Jay fans here in attendance, and that fan just got a souvenir baseball. So it's been a comfortable night, and the forecast before we arrived in Cleveland was not very promising. But after a 1 hour and 53-minute delay, we've had no interruptions in play since the start of game 1. And it's been quite comfortable. Joe Biagini's quite comfortable so far. He's allowed just 1 hit through the first 2 innings. Has 3 strikeouts already. There's that first pitch curveball to Bradley Zimmer for strike 1.
It'll get me over curveball right there. Just to throw off the timing of that hitter. He's got stuff that looks like it can transition to big league, get big league hitters out. Cuts the ball a little bit, keeps the ball on the ground for the most part. There's a comeback fastball. We didn't see too many of those his last game.
Yeah, that's been a good pitch for him early on. He had a couple of strikeouts. He got Naquin on that pitch. Another fastball, and Zimmer can't pull the trigger. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Biagini. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. That's the only run Mike Minor has surrendered so far in that ballgame. David Price has given up 2 runs on 2 hits.
Man,
Mookie Betts.
Is there anybody hotter right now?
Betts has 22 RBIs with those 12 home runs.
How's that for a your leadoff hitter. You got to bear down the first pitch of the ball game, or you might be down 1-0.
Ground ball, base hit through the left side for Eric Gonzalez. Gonzalez had the first hit of the ball game against Jaime Garcia in game 1. He had a 1-out single in the 3rd inning. That was the first base hit against Gonzalez.
He looks like he can play. We saw him at second base, seeing him at third. Ball was up and not far enough in. But Gonzalez grounds it through the hole on the left side. He looks like a player.
Very versatile player. He started the first game at second. He's at third in game 2. Back to the top of the order. Lindor looks at a breaking ball. He struck out on a curveball in his first at bat. Ball in the dirt as Gonzalez read it very well, and what a throw by Maile. Diaz wants him to check it, as that was a terrific throw and a better tag. It's short, as Diaz came across and slapped the tag on Gonzalez.
What a recovery by Luke Maile. Ball in the dirt. He smothers it. Indians trying to be aggressive, but look at the recovery. Throws the glove down, fires the ball to second base, and the Blue Jays are checking to see if they want to look at this one. That looked like he got him on the elbow. Watch Luke block it, get rid of the glove, and fire that ball down there.
Hey, fans are asking for the video review, and they are going to look at it. It didn't look like Gonzalez had his arm extended, like he had it bent, and when Diaz tagged him, like he hadn't made contact with the base.
Guess who he's talking to? Can you guess who he's talking to? Solarte, of course. He's talking to everybody. He came inside. You can see he's actually on the grass.
Solarte, he is something else. Very animated. He absolutely loves to chat with the other team. We saw that all throughout the Texas series. Looks like he's going to be safe as that tag. He makes contact right there, and the tag wasn't yet. That's going to be a hard one for the video review board to overturn it. This umpiring crew was here in the previous series, and they had a bunch of tough calls. Texas was here for this series, and now we're going to see the call. The call on the field is upheld. It stands as Gonzalez advances on the wild pitch. So with 1 out, there's a runner in scoring position for Francisco Lindor. 2 balls and no strikes, 1 out. First time through the order, Biagini recorded 4 strikeouts. Maile got clipped on the backswing, knocked him on his heels. Lindor was fooled on that pitch. He had his hand come off the bat and came all the way around and clipped the catcher.
He's got such a long backswing when he finishes right there. It looked like he got more of the mask. Let's hope it got more of the mask than the than the helmet.
Lindor fouls off that pitch. You know, nowadays all the catchers wear helmets, and that's a good thing. It was something I never thought about.
You never wore a helmet, did you? Just the regular baseball cap.
Yeah.
Did you ever get smoked?
Yeah, a couple times, but I was just never comfortable wearing that batting helmet, turning it around. But it was certainly the right thing to do, and I encourage anybody that gets behind the plate to put one on, or one of those hockey-style masks that you see so many catchers use. But nowadays, there's so many big swings and follow-through that you see this happen quite a bit. Full count to Lindor. Kipnis is on deck, one out with Gonzalez at second. Line drive into center field. That's going to get down. They're going to wave the runner around. Gonzalez is coming to the plate. The throw is offline, and he slides in safely. Lindor with another RBI has tied it up here in the third.
You know, all good hitters, Buck, they have that little tuck right before they're ready to swing the bat. When they get back on that back leg and they close that shoulder before they start firing forward. Lindor does the same thing. Watch how he gets back just a little bit right there to get himself going. The hands fire through, and he comes up with another RBI hit. He had choked up once he got the 2 strikes against Joe Biagini, so he not going to give in and throw way offline. No chance really to get Gonzalez at the plate, so Lindor's going to move up. He's just a good player. Really enjoy watching somebody like that who's fundamentally sound like Lindor play the game.
Wow, and the thing about Lindor is he plays with joy, as does Solarte, and you see them having a lot of fun out on the field. There are an awful lot of good young players in the game today. Lindor went with the Indians, of course, to Puerto Rico, his native land, put on a clinic on Monday before they played on Tuesday night. So he was able to give something back to his native country. He put on a clinic for a lot of kids, and he said, you know what, it was a great honor for me to go down there and participate in a clinic to help the kids. Kipnis swing wildly at that pitch.
Took his mom with him. His mom lives with him here in Cleveland. He was telling me, and so he gets the home cooked meal. So when they went to Puerto Rico, he said, Mom, you got to go with me. Go back home. He loves to play the game.
Just 24 years old in his 4th season with the Indians. Last year, he led the American League in plate appearances and at bats. He had 651 at bats. Scored 99 runs for the 2nd straight season. Line to right. Hernandez got a good read on it and makes the catch. Lindor has to go back to second. Kipnis hit it on the line, but Hernandez was there to make the catch. Jose Ramirez, the DH here in game 2, lined out to second base his first time up.
Joe's fastball's got a lot of movement on it here early in the ball game. You mentioned that he had 3 straight strikeouts, all of them with the fastball, all of them that little comeback variety on the inside part of the plate. So he's got some good movement working.
There's a good curveball from Biagini. Evens the count at 1-1. We mentioned Lindor and what a good player he is. Jose Ramirez is no slouch. He's 25 years old. He's in his 6th season with the Indians. He led the American League last year with 56 doubles.
And clutches up. He can really hit with runners in scoring position. He's a switch hitter. Got some power if you make a mistake.
He had .318 a year ago, won the Silver Slugger Award at third base, and finished 3rd in the MVP voting. And oh, by the way, made the All-Star team. First time he's made the All-Star team. 1-2, 2 outs. Base hit to left. Dwight Smith Jr. gets a good hop. Lindor's going to be stopped at third. Good job by Smith. He got to it quickly. It was hit right at him. He played it on a hop, made a good throw, and they stopped Lindor at third.
Mike Sarbaugh is the third base coach of the Cleveland Indians, and he got himself into perfect position. Line drive hit hard. Smith charges. Lindor's thinking about scoring. Had his head down and then looked up right at the last second, and Sarby kept him at third base. He would have been out.
If he kept running, he would have run right over the third base coach.
But a great job there by Smith to charge that ball and then throw accurately, keep the ball low too. So the runner who hit the ball standing over at first base.
Here's that guy again, Michael Brantley. He singled his first time up. Brantley with 4 hits in the 2 games so far. 8 for 24 with runners in scoring position.
That takes his average. .371 coming into this game, and he's got a hit. Blue Jays can't figure out how to get him out. Now, it's not a small sample size. It's 141 at bats. Try something different.
There's that good fastball with late movement. Ball and a striker run in here for Cleveland in the bottom of the third. It's a 1-1 game.
Brantley had a huge year a couple of seasons ago for the Cleveland Indians. He hit .327. He had 200 hits, 20 home runs, 97 RBIs. Struck out 56 times the whole year. He's got that short, compact swing. He can let that ball travel a long way before he starts to swing the bat.
He gets beat on this pitch and pops it into the seats out of play. Yeah, his approach is a very positive one. He's very short to the ball, and that's why it's surprising the base hit he got to left field was the first base hit to left field he's gotten, because he's always been a guy that goes foul line to foul line.
Got that in the first inning, kept it fair for a double. Father Mickey played in the big leagues and was a hitting coach. In fact, he was a hitting coach for the Blue Jays for a number of years, so you can see where he has learned his craft.
Ground ball to third. Solarte will go across the diamond to Morales, and that ends the inning. But the Indians get a run on 3 hits, and they've tied it up 1-1 after 3. 18 games when he was on the DL with the shoulder problem. His return in game 1 was an impressive one.
Yeah, an RBI double, and then this 2-run home run on the first pitch he sees from Nick Goody, and then a big double also in the 11th inning. Right there, that sent Luke Mailey to third base right before the grand slam home run by Yangervis Solarte. So Josh Donaldson didn't miss a beat in those 18 team games that he missed.
So Donaldson will lead things off. He is the DH in game 2. Started this game batting .264. Blue Jays have just one hit. That was the Solarte solo home run in the second. Pitchers always bust Donaldson inside because he is so good out over the plate. He has great plate coverage. Trying to come in there again. High and deep, and this one's gonna go. Get up, ball, get up and get way up there. They tried to come inside again and left it out over the plate.
You know, I was just thinking that when we saw the catcher Perez slide to the inside part of the plate, I thought to myself, if you're going to go in there, you better get it in there. Just doesn't have enough fastball to blow it by you, and he missed his spot. I'll tell you, Josh slammed that one. He hit that one hard. The best part about it was his bat flip at the end. I don't know if you got a chance to see that, but that was pretty. He got all of that one.
The chopper back to the mound.
Well, we talk all the time about exit velocity, fastball out over the plate. It's 110 miles an hour. Watch Josh how he finishes this off. He knows he got it. See ya. That's a good feeling.
I don't know. I've never done that, but it's got to be a good feeling because he squared it up. That was a no-doubter. As they said in Bull Durham, he has announced his presence with authority. 2 home runs, 2 doubles on his return to the active roster. Two to 1, Blue Jays lead it. Breaking ball strike. It's 1-1. They play Solarte in a dramatic shift. That's the third baseman, Gonzalez at shortstop. Lindor, Kipnis, and Alonso on the right side in the shift. Doesn't make any difference how you shift him. He is on fire. Solarte is headed for second. He better hurry. He went in standing up, and it was a lot closer than he expected. Tyler Naquin's got a good arm.
Yeah, that was a decoy right there by Lindor, the shortstop. What you do when you try to decoy a runner like that, you just stand like there's not going to be a play there, but knowing all along that that throw's coming in and you might have a chance. What you're trying to do is make that runner slow up, thinking that he's got a stand-up double. Great job by Lindor, and he almost came up with it. Solarte on fire, rips this ball into the corner. Naquin does a good job of digging it out, and watch Lindor just deacon, just standing there like nothing's happening, and he's going to try and slap tag him.
Solarte is 7 for 8 in the doubleheader. His average now up to 283. At the start of play, he was hitting 238. He might wear that Band-Aid the rest of the season. That's a badge of honor for him.
Yeah, his day almost ended after one at bats.
Pilar asked for time. It was granted just before Plutko was set to deliver the pitch. Yeah, Solarte did that face plant in the third inning. And looked like he might have to come out of the game, but he hung in there, stayed in there. What a day he has had.
Yeah, he looked shocked, didn't he? Like what just happened when he landed on third base? Dazed and confused, but then got his senses. Glad that he stayed in there. He's having a great day.
7 RBIs today. A grand slam and a solo shot here in game 2. Kevin Pillar picked up a couple more hits in game 1. 2 for 6 with a walk. He was on base 4 times. Drives this one deep to right. Naquin is there, and he makes another catch. Pillar was robbed of a base hit by Naquin in the top of the 11th in game 1. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell.
At that now for the Blue Jays, number 8, Henry Morel.
Jake Odorizzi starting for the Twins. He has 7 strikeouts through 4 innings. Morrison got off to a terrible start to his season, but starting to pick it up. Kendrys Morales takes ball 1.
Blue Jays have put together some good at bats so far in this doubleheader. Morales looked like he was coming out of it in Minnesota. Get his bat going again. You got a deep lineup.
Well, the Blue Jays continue to hit home runs on the road. They hit 3 home runs in game 1. They've hit 2 home runs here in game 2. Hit home runs in 13 of 16 games. Two balls and a strike to the Blue Jays first baseman. The lineup has gotten awfully deep. Granderson has done his thing in the top of the order when he's in the lineup.
Well, you're adding an all-star and an MVP in Josh Donaldson. Put him in there. You drop everybody down 1. Justin Smoak won't be here today or the next couple of days, but you add him into this lineup too. You got some firepower.
Strike 2, down and away with that strike. Full count now to Kendrys Morales. Ground ball. Gonzalez has it wide of third. The inning is over. But Josh Donaldson is having quite a return to the active roster. Donaldson starts the 4th inning with a long home run way up into the seats. And then just a little icing on the cake, a classic bat flip, and the Blue Jays have the lead. Thank you very much, Jamie Campbell. Indeed, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 2-1 Blue Jays. A couple of solo home runs. Yonever Solarte in the 2nd, Josh Donaldson in the 4th. Francisco Lindor has the RBI for the Indians. Joe Biagini's been pounding that strike zone all night long. And he's ahead of Yonder Alonso, 0-2.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. A little extension, get deep into the ball game, and pound that strike zone. His fastball's got some good movement. I like his curveball tonight. It's tight, and he's throwing it at the right time.
There's a curveball. That one bounced in the dirt. Alonso wouldn't offer at it. It's 1-2. Biagini has been very effective using that comeback fastball inside the left-handed hitters. He got Tyler Naquin and Bradley Zimmer looking at strike 3. Run it away this time. Going to be a tough play for the shortstop. Diaz, what a terrific grab and what a play. Hey, do or die play for Diaz. They were playing Alonso in the shift. Diaz grabbed it barehanded and made a terrific throw to first base to gun down Alonso.
Yeah, remember he had that collision in game 1 where his wrist got hit, his leg got hit, and he had a long way to go to come and get that ball. His only play was to barehand it. And how about Kendrys Morales on the other end digging it out? What a play.
Nice scoop over at first by Morales. Well, what a play by Diaz to bend over barehanded and then throw on time to get Alonso. The Cuban connection coming through. Tyler Naquin called out on strikes his first time up. There's that curveball you like.
And a good time to use it too. He was sitting dead red right there on that first pitch, and he just messed up his time. Just flip it in there for strike 1.
Boy, when you throw a lot of strikes, you get the hitters in a swing mode. And they have to be ready to swing at everything, and at borderline pitches, you'll get them to chase that. But the opposite is true too. If you fall behind, they become very selective and become very good hitters.
You get those borderline calls also from the umpire because you're showing you can throw strikes. If you're always around the plate and you're pumping it in there, making quality pitches, if you get that borderline one, you're going to get it. You throw it there. If you're buckshotting balls all over the place and then you finally throw a borderline pitch, you're not getting it.
Yeah, umpires get into a rhythm as well, just like pitchers, just like hitters. They see a lot of strikes, they're going to have a tendency to think strikes. 2-2 to Tyler Naquin, the right fielder. Ball is drilled in the alley in left field. That's going to get down and bounce up against the wall. Naquin drives one the opposite power alley, and double his 2nd of the season.
Looked like they were going to try and go back inside with a comeback fastball, but he just couldn't get it in there, and actually came right down over the middle of the plate. You can see where Luke wants that ball. He wants that down and in, but it leaks back out over the plate. Naquin showing off some pop the other way.
Naquin came up a couple years ago and looked like a promising player. Then he's been back and forth between Cleveland and the minors. Roberto Perez, they put the pickoff play on, and Biagini steps off. Perez is also from Puerto Rico, so he had a chance to go home when the Indians played the Twins in that 2-game series in San Juan. He's in his 5th season with the Indians.
Thought he really came into his own in the playoffs.
He drives this ball into right field, and that's going to score Naquin. So Perez picks up an RBI single, his 2nd RBI of the season, and he's tied it up at 2.
Especially when they played the Blue Jays in 2016. He came into his own as a hitter and a defensive player behind the plate. First hit this season with a runner in scoring position. Looked like a cutter off the plate, but it was just up a little bit too much. And he hits it hard for a single.
Going the opposite way, Naquin with good speed scores easily from second. It's a 2-2 ball game. Number 8 hitter is Bradley Zimmer. He goes after the first pitch. Mentioned Perez in 2016 in the World Series. He had a couple of home runs against the Cubs, hit 2 home runs and drove in 5. He played all 7 games in that series.
Looked great behind the plate too. I remember thinking to myself when the Blue Jays were playing them in the ALCS, like, where'd this guy come from?
Never shows Bunt pulls the bat back. Ball and a strike to the center fielder. That bounces away from Melee, and Perez is going to advance. Second time a runner has moved up on a wild pitch. Eric Gonzalez did it, and that allowed him to score in the 3rd. Now Perez moves up.
He takes a double play out. Also, looks like they had a shot. Now, when you're a runner at first base and you can see the flying of the ball and it's going to bounce, you can take off. The ball doesn't go that far. But if you're anticipating that, you're expecting that, you can move up.
It's off the plate outside. 3-1 now to Zimmer. Eric Gonzalez is on deck. Perez with an RBI single, moved to second on the wild pitch. Gonzalez has singled so far tonight. Zimmer checks his swing, takes ball 4. That's the first walk issued by Biagini.
The 2018 Civic. When it leads off, it leads for good. Honda, proud fan since 1977 and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Been a great day of baseball here in Cleveland, Ohio, as these 2 teams are making up for 2 lost games back in April. Pete Walker, the pitching coach, out having a little visit with Joe Biagini. Biagini's run into a little problem here in the 4th. The Indians have scored 2 runs on 2 hits. He has now walked Bradley Zimmer, and Eric Gonzalez, the number 9 hitter, will step in the box.
Gonzalez reached him for a hit his last time up. 368.
Gonzalez just 19 at bats so far. He takes a first pitch strike. Blue Jays did not turn a double play in the first game over the span of 11 innings. They could certainly use one right now. Fly ball into center. Pilar is there, hit right to the center fielder. 2 away. Remember, this inning started on a terrific defensive play by the shortstop, Aledmus Diaz. He took a hit away from Yonder Alonso. That would have been 3 consecutive hits and a walk, but had it not been for a great defensive play by the shortstop.
Yeah, we'll take it. That's the good news. The bad news is that Lindor guy's up again. He has made a habit of coming up with big hits against the Blue Jays in his young career.
Lindor coming into this ball game in game 2 with a .338 career average against the Jays with 3 home runs and 10 RBIs. Now he has 11 with his RBI single in the 3rd.
11 RBIs already. Between him and Brantley, it seems like they're up every other inning.
One ball, one strike to Francisco Lindor. Lindor hit 2 home runs in game 1, a 3-run shot in the 4th, a solo home run in the 8th. He had a 3-hit game. He had 8 hits in the 3-game series against the Rangers. So far in these 2 games, he has 4 hits.
That last swing didn't look like he was going for a single either. Looked like he was trying to hit another one.
Ground ball. Gurriel at second, and that'll do it. The inning is over. The Indians tied up on a Roberto Perez RBI single. We'll go to the 5th 2-2 ball game. Time now for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Joe Siddle in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Toughest record, the legendary 56-game hitting streak. You can pick up to 2 players every day who you think will get a hit, your streak continues, get no hits, start a new streak. Be the first to reach 57 games and win $5.6 million. You can play for free and download the app today. Buck, I think Tom Clark in our production truck guaranteed he's going to reach 57 games and beat the streak.
Francisco Lindor has had a great afternoon. This is Dwight Smith Jr. Smith making his first start of the season. He was just added to the roster prior to game 1. He flied out to left field in his only at bat.
They were just talking about the beat the streak and a reference to Joe DiMaggio. You know where his streak ended?
Cleveland.
Right here.
Kenny Keltner, third baseman, robbed him of a couple hits.
And if he had gotten a hit that night, Heinz 57 had a nice promotion ready for him.
Imagine that. Probably pay him a couple of bucks. A long time before Mr. Coffee.
Exactly. Many years before Mr. Coffee. But yeah, right here in Cleveland, it was stopped. He was robbed a couple of times by Kenny Keltner at third base.
Another fly ball to left. Brantley on the run. He's not going to get this one. It bounces up against the wall in left, and Dwight Smith Jr. has a big league double. His first hit of the season.
Hit the ball hard last time up, and he flew out to Brantley in left field to the warning track. That time he just flicks his wrist on a ball down and away from him. He's got that high leg kick, just flicks his wrist. He drives that ball to the warning track down the left field line for extra bases. And a way to get in on the hit parade.
Tie ball game, 2-2. Lead off double. Luke Maile now. Maile takes strike one. Dwight Smith came up to the big leagues last year, got into 12 games, had 10 hits in 27 at bats for a .370 average. He hit 2 doubles, had an RBI and a stolen base. Got a chance to play in Atlanta. Here's hometown. Family was there, got to see him play against the Braves. Maybe he's behind 0-2.
His dad was there, wasn't he?
I believe he was.
His dad lived in Atlanta.
Of course, Dwight Smith played in the major leagues. Started with the Cubs. Played 5 years with the Cubs, 2 years in Atlanta, a year in California, and a year with the Orioles. Finished up his career in '96 with the Braves. Luke Maile called out on strikes.
Third strikeout of the night for Adam Plutko. This time he's going to paint that outside corner.
One out now for the number 9 hitter, Ledmus Diaz. He popped out the second baseman in the second inning. Blue Jays have 2 runs on 4 hits. The Indians have 2 runs on 6 hits. High fly ball. Zimmer back, still going back. Smith's going to tag at second as Zimmer makes the catch on a warning track. Smith will move over to third, but now there are 2 outs. Long fly ball to the deepest part of this ballpark. So Plutko has 2 outs in the 5th. It's his first big league start.
Battled some injuries last year. Had a torn labrum, had to have some surgery.
This is just his 3rd big league game. He came up on 3 different occasions last year, but did not pitch in a game. In 2016, he got into 2 games, a total of 3 2/3 innings.
Then the injuries happened, had some surgery. Did some Arizona Fall League stuff to get in shape and get ready. Again, his last start, which was on schedule 4 days ago, 5 days ago, 4 days in between. 7 2/3, no hits, no runs.
Perfect game.
The only thing that kept him out, he hit his pitch count at 95. What are you shaking your head for?
You know why I'm shaking my head. A perfect game. The guy's got to come out because of a pitch count. Look at the big, strong kid. I know he's had injuries in the past. He's 26 years old. He's 6'3", weighs 200 pounds. Perfect pitcher's body. And he was throwing a perfect game. Gurriel fouls it straight back. Lourdes is 0 for 2. Leading off for the first time in his career. He had a 3-hit game in game 1. And he was 3 for 5. Scored a run and drove in a run. He strikes out, that'll end the inning. 4 strikeouts for Plutko. He closes out the Blue Jays, leaves a runner at third base. It's a 2-2 game as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Biagini will face Kipnis.
Kristen Smoke was the all-star, giving birth to Barkley Grace Smoke, second daughter from mom and dad. Nobody seems happier than big sister Sutton. Barkley Grace, 9 pounds 1 ounce and 21 inches long. Both mom and daughter are doing well. And Buck, what's the math? Barkley will be part of the University of South Carolina grad class of 2040, I guess it would be.
More than likely, for sure. Congratulations to the Smoke family for having another healthy daughter. That's all great news. Another Blue Jay fan for sure.
Congratulations. Let's see, 18, 22, 28, 40, 2040. He's right.
Yeah. Jason Kipnis will lead things off for the Indians, bottom 5. The Indians will go to New York after this game and then on to Milwaukee for a 2-game series with an off day on Monday. The Blue Jays will go to Tampa Bay for a 3-game weekend series starting tomorrow night against Tampa Bay. And Josh Donaldson, he just came from Florida. He'll be going right back to the same area. He was getting on everybody in the clubhouse before game 1 saying, all you guys look awfully pale. Yeah, I guess so. We've been in 38-degree weather most of the time. He's down in Florida. He
and
said,
indoors, right?
I'm the only one that's got a tan. Oh, really? Lined into center. That's a leadoff base hit for Kipnis. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Well, just when you thought David Price was straightened out and everything was going good for him, 3 2/3, 9 runs, 7 earnings. His ERA now at 5.11. You know what? There are very few perfect teams. You know, you see the Astros and they get beat by the Yankees. Severino shut them out last night. And Houston, they look like a perfect team. They lost again tonight, 6-5 to New York. There are very few perfect teams.
There's a lot of good teams. Boston's pretty good. New York, Houston, pretty good.
But you know what? If you would have listened to all the experts at the start of the season, everybody would say, well, nobody in the East should even play. Boston and New York are going to run away with it. And they may. But they are far from perfect. And just think how many changes they have made already.
You know, when you talk about perfect teams and great teams, how about what's happening in Los Angeles with the Dodgers? I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Dodgers are 13-17 at the start of play, and they are 7-8 at home. And I agree with you. Everybody thought Dodgers were just going to go right back to the World Series.
5 straight NL West championships.
That's trouble. That is high and deep, and it's going to go. Jose Ramirez connects for a 2-run home run. For Ramirez, his 8th home run of the season, and Cleveland has a 4-2 lead.
He's got something right now on Joe Biagini. He is locked in on Joe. He lined out his first time up to the second baseman. He then singled, and now this long home run. Drives in 18 runs now for the season with that 2-run home run. He's a good player. DHing today, giving Edwin Encarnacion the night off. High fastball. And he gets all of it.
No doubt about it. Home run number 8 for Ramirez. Michael Brantley's 1 for 2. He goes after the first pitch, and Pilar is going to make a chest-high catch. So 3 well-hit balls to start the bottom of the 5th.
Brantley was hitting 600 this year on the first pitch. So you got to be wary of that. 12 for 20 on that first pitch. Smoked that one to center field.
Boy, the core of this Indians team is very good and very young. Yonder Alonso.
They'll be right there when it's all said and done. They just haven't put it all together just yet. They've had some injuries out in that bullpen that has cost them some games.
Another sharply hit ball off the bat of Alonso. He's aboard. Luis Santos has just been added to the roster for Game 2. He was summoned from AAA Buffalo. He is loosening up in a hurry, and Pete Walker is going to give Santos a little more time. So Biagini has run into a little problem here in the 5th inning.
Yeah. 4 hard hit balls in a row off of Joe. This is the 3rd time through the lineup. And Ramirez, not a real big guy, but he's got a quick, powerful swing. That exit velocity at almost 103 miles an hour. Hit that ball almost 400 feet. That made that fan's night.
A short visit for the pitching coach, Pete Walker. Yonder Alonso with his first hit of the night. 1 for 3 in this game. He was 0 for 1 in Game 1 as a pinch hitter. Tyler Naquin doubled and scored in the 4th. Four runs on 9 hits for Cleveland now. I had mentioned how the Cleveland hitters have really stepped it up lately. They had 11 runs on 15 hits in Game 1. But the Blue Jays had 13 runs on 17 hits and won the opener.
Yeah, had to outslug them to win that ball game and get out of town. This team looks like it's ready to take off the Indians, if you ask me, the way they're swinging the bats.
Looked like a pretty good pitch. Joe Biagini making his 2nd start of the season. He last started on April 17th in the doubleheader against the Royals. There's another hit into center field. That's going to get down in front of Pilar. And that's going to be it for Joe Biagini. Tyler Naquin gets the 4th hit off Biagini in this 5th inning. And there's the skipper. He's made the call to the bullpen. So Biagini goes 4 1/3. And he will leave trailing 4-2. As things kind of went sideways for him here in the 5th inning. Ramirez with a 2-run home run. Santos into the game to face Roberto Perez. Start here tonight in game 2. He retired the first 3 he faced. He gave up a leadoff single in the second, but then struck out 2 to end that inning. Gave up a run in the third, a run in the fourth, but they touched him up for 2 here in the fifth, and now Luis Santos will take over.
Yeah, the first 8 batters he faced, he struck out 4 of them, and then tired here in the 5th inning. So Luis will take over. There's his numbers in 5 games in AAA this year. He got into a 10 games with the Blue Jays last season, had a 270 earned run average. He throws lots of strikes, fastball, a little slider. He'll compete.
Roberto Perez will be the first batter facing Santos. Perez had an RBI single his last time up. He drove in the tying run at that time. Breaking ball for a strike. Santos has pitched for the Pirate organization, Kansas City, and the Blue Jays. He first pitched for the Blue Jays in 2016. Pitched in Dunedin and New Hampshire. Made 22 starts his first year with the Blue Jays.
27 years old. Turned 27 in February.
Popped out of play. Santos plays winter ball in the Dominican Republic. He appeared in 10 games this offseason. At Buffalo, he was in 5 games, did not start a game, pitched a total of 9 1/3 innings. A little control problem. He walked 6, struck out 8.
Didn't see that last year when he came up in September. Did a heck of a job. 16 2/3 innings, gave up 15 hits, had 16 punch outs.
Walked only 4. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. We're in the 5th inning, and the Indians have taken a 4-2 lead on the 2-run home run by Jose Ramirez. Laid off that breaking ball. Now a full count. Bradley Zimmer, the center fielder, is on deck. He has struck out and walked. Ball 4. He checked his swing. So Santos comes in and walks the first batter he faces, and that'll load the bases. Alonso goes to third, Naquin to second, and now Perez is at first.
In the first game, 1 inning really did the Blue Jays some harm. They put together, what, 12 men to the plate and scored 7 runs. Blue Jays just couldn't stop the fire.
That was in the 4th inning. They scored 7 runs on 7 hits and left 2 on. Bradley Zimmer with the bases loaded. Takes ball 1. Zimmer is 0 for 1 with a walk so far in this game. He had a 2-run single in the first game in that 7-run 4th inning.
Yeah, a lot of speed too. If they're going to get a double play, it's going to be it has to be a 1-hopper right to one of the middle infielders.
Ball 2. Zimmer has grounded into 1 double play, but like you say, it's got to be right out in the infield.
Yeah, a 1-hop smash because he can really run. Normal ground ball anywhere, I don't think they're going to turn 2, so I think that's why the corners are in to go home.
3 balls and no strikes. Santos walked the first batter and he's behind Zimmer 3-0. Gonzalez is on deck. 2 runs in already this inning. He walked him. That'll force in a run. A 4-pitch walk by Santos. He's come in and walked both batters he's faced here.
Those 4 to Zimmer, not even close. He will pick up the RBI. Just his 6th of the season. Now got to regroup. You can see him shaking his head right there, a little upset with himself.
John Givens has seen Santos, of course, last year and then in spring training, and I'm sure he's not too pleased about what has happened so far. 2 batters, 2 walks. Eric Gonzalez now, bases remain loaded with 1 out. Gonzalez takes a ball, not close, and Bailey's going to go out to the mound.
Kendrys Morales. Looks like he's going to go in there and talk also. Morales was a pitcher. He's a baseball player.
He's done a little bit of everything, and every day at home he throws as a pitcher, working on his stuff. But he knows the game, and he was on his way over when Bailey came to the mound. Still just 1 out. Indians have scored 3 times here in the 5th. And there's a strike. Eric Gonzalez 1 for 2. There's a base hit. That's going to score a couple. 2 for sure, maybe 3, and Zimmer's flying around 3rd. He's being waved home. And there'll be no throw. Eric Gonzalez clears the bases with a 3-run double.
Wow, was Zimmer ever flying around the bases? Ball was cut off by the outfield and got back in for a double. And there was still no throw. Gonzalez will get 3 RBIs with 1 swing of the bat. He now has 4 on the season. Hanging slider, and he rips it into left center field. That scores 1, 2, and here comes Zimmer. Look at him flying. Still no throw for the Blue Jays, and now a 6-run inning has made it 8-2.
Look at Zimmer. Long strides. He's eating up ground. He gets the go-ahead around 3rd, and he just cruises home.
That looks like a track man, doesn't it?
Looks like a good-looking baseball player. A 6-run 5th inning. Remember, the Indians had a 7-run 4th inning in game 1, and the Blue Jays still came back and won the game. But now they trail by 6. They were never more than 2 behind in game 1. 9th man to bat in the inning is Lindor, and this is trouble. It's going to be over the head of Dwight Smith, off the wall in left. Gonzalez is in to score. And it is a 7-run inning. Another RBI for Lindor, 2nd of the game.
power from both sides of the plate, the ability to go the other way. At a moment's notice, Santos tries to slip that fastball by him on the outside corner. And Lindor just slams it over to the head of Smith. He now has 18 RBIs. He's had a big afternoon.
Had 4 ribbies in game 1. He has 2 more here in game 2. And now Kipnis will be the 10th batter in the inning. Another ball. Blue Jays played 11 innings in game 1. Used 7 relievers. And Danny Barnes, one of those 7, was optioned to the minor leagues after game 1. Santos was activated, called up from the minor leagues. Steve Pearce was placed on the disabled list. Pearce started game 1, but after an at bat in the 5th inning, he was pulled from the game, and they have since put him on the DL.
Yeah, they needed some healthy bodies.
And Kipnis takes a walk. So Santos has come into the game. He is yet to record an out. He has walked 3 and given up 2 doubles. Well, we've got a moment. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, that is a fun team to watch, the New Hampshire Ball Club, as Vladdy Guerrero, Bo Bichette, Kevin Biggio has 6 home runs for that AA team.
Sean Reed Foley had a nice night the other day. 10 strikeouts. He is a pitching prospect for the Blue Jays.
He was in camp during spring training. Off to a good start. Jose Ramirez, he started this whole inning with a 2-run home run. Nine to 2 Cleveland.
The only out of the inning was that hard hit ball by Brantley to center field. Get a ground ball right here.
Strike 2. Still just 1 out. Ramirez is the 11th man to bat this inning. Way outside. Ramirez's home run was his 8th of the season. Solarte will give it a look, but it's well out of play into the seats.
These are the kind of games you already went through. 7 relievers in game 1. John Gibbons needs some innings from his relief corps tonight. Bill Biagini gives him a 4 1/3 innings. Nobody warming up. You gotta give me 2 innings tonight.
pulled foul by Ramirez. Santos has faced 5 batters. He's walked 3 and given up doubles to the other 2. Outside, it's a full count. Base hit to right. And there's around third. He's going to score. And Ramirez ends up at second base. It's 10-2.
Another RBI for Ramirez, and he hustled himself on that one. You see Gibby saying, all right, move back, guys. We need to get some outs. Hustle all the way. He wasn't going to settle for a single to right field. He was thinking double all the way. Got jammed by that high fastball. Hit a blooper into right field. Look at him busting it after 16 innings today. Remember, he's got a little bit of a groin problem too. That's why he's DHing.
Yeah, this is great baseball. You're up by this many runs and you're having an 8-run inning, and he slides in head first at second as he drives home Lindor. 3 RBIs for Ramirez. There's a fly ball to right. Hernandez backs up. Tagging at third is Kipnis. The throw will go to third as Ramirez moves up as well, and it's a 9-run inning. Brantley picks up an RBI on the sac fly to right. Cleveland scored 11 runs in the loss in game 1. Wednesday afternoon, they scored 12 runs on 15 hits in the series finale against Texas.
And that 7-run inning that they had in game 1 was their largest inning, and it's the biggest inning the Blue Jays had given up this year until this inning.
9 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. So it will be the most runs the Blue Jays have surrendered in an inning and the most the Indians have scored in an inning. Alonso called for the swing. Alonso had a single and scored the 5th run of the ball game. He's the 13th batter to hit this inning. And the inning comes to an end. Alonso strikes out, but the Indians put up a crooked number in the 5th to take a commanding 11-2 lead. vehicle 2018 Civic Type R.
Josh Donaldson in the first game had a couple of doubles and a home run. Well, he's going to have another home run here with the drive of the game. High fastball. They tried to go inside to the Indians, and Josh said not so quick. Turns on that one. That is tonight's drive of the game. Donaldson now has 5 home runs on the season and 13 RBIs. He hasn't played a whole lot.
Donaldson has homered in each of the 2 games in this doubleheader. So has Yannervis Solarte. It's the first time in Blue Jays franchise history that teammates have each homered in both ends of a doubleheader. The last time any pair of American League teammates homered in both ends of a doubleheader was 1989. The Brewers against the White Sox. Robin Yount and Rob Deere both homered in both ends of a doubleheader.
2 home runs each, right? 1 in each. There's a paint on the outside corner. That's pretty impressive. That's a lot of home runs.
Solarte has had a big day. When you think of what Solarte has accomplished, he has 7 hits in this ball game, in this doubleheader. He had 5 hits in game 1. He's got 2 for 2 in game 2, and that is a franchise tying record. There's a high fly ball. Nake went over near the foul line, stays with it and makes the catch. And Yannervis Solarte had a grand slam game-winning home run in the 11th. His first grand slam of his career and his 5th hit of the game.
That was the cherry on top in game number 1. So what did he do in game 2? Got the Blue Jays off and running in the 2nd inning with this home run. Number 9 on the season. Picks on that curveball. Circles the bases. He's got home runs in both games.
He has 7 hits in the doubleheader. That ties him with Paul Molitor for the most hits in franchise history with 7. Molitor, September 4th of 1995 in Kansas City against the Royals, had 7 hits in a doubleheader.
Wonder what that feels like. 7 hits in one day.
How about 7 hits in 2 weeks?
He was robbed of a hit also, if you remember. Great play by the second baseman.
Ball and a strike. Boy, he is really locked in, and we had mentioned that he had gone through some ups and downs. He got off to a fast start. Then he cooled off a little bit. He went 0 for 4 in the series finale yesterday in Minnesota. But he made up for it in grand style in the first game. He got 5 hits. He walked. He was 5 for 6 with a walk.
Gets that average moving, doesn't it? Yesterday in the game, it started at 248.
His average sits at 283 now. Now has 32 hits. Well, I tell you what, that's a good indication of how hot he is. He hit that pitch down and away at the knees, fouled it off.
Didn't even step into it. This flat footer just say, you know what, I can't do too much with this. So I'm just going to try and foul it off.
And he strikes out as Pletka has a 1-2-3 6th inning. His first big league start has been a good one. Santos back out. Start in the big leagues this season. He also started in a doubleheader against Kansas City, and he got a good start, but it didn't go so well for him once he hit the 5th inning. Biagini is charged with 6 earned runs on 10 hits over 4 1/3. He walked 1 and struck out 4. He actually struck out 3 in a row from the 2nd to the 3rd inning. But now it's Luis Santos as the Indians have an 11-2 lead. Tyler Naquin goes after the first pitch. Santos came in after that inning. He had a visit with Pete Walker. Walker checking to make sure he was okay, but said, "Hey man, we're going to have you pitch some innings."
Yeah, nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Blue Jays right now. Got to stretch you out. We got to get some innings out of you. Save some of those arms. Blue Jays are going to play tomorrow night.
Down in Tampa Bay, 3-game series Friday night, Saturday early game at 6 and a Sunday day game. Jay Happ will open up against Ryan Yarbrough. Yarbrough is also a left-hander. Then Aaron Sanchez against Jake Faria. Marco Estrada against Chris Archer. That's the pitching matchup for the 3-game series at Tampa Bay. Naquin fouls it out of play. Tyler Naquin is 2 for 3. He scored a pair of runs, a double and a single.
He's made some nice catches in the outfield too.
Well, he robbed Pilar in game 1. The final out of the top of the 11th inning. Could have been extra bases for Pilar, another extra base hit, but he slammed up against the wall, made a Kevin Pilar type of catch. Hit on the ground. Gurriel bobbles and stays with it. Fires in time to Morales. One away.
The Lawn and Garden event is on now until May 15th. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Here's how.
Lots of baseball here in Cleveland. Doubleheader started about 2 hours late. Started around 3 o'clock local time. And then that game went 4 hours and 47 minutes with an hour and 53-minute rain delay. Plus it went 11 innings.
And it was exciting. I mean, when you slice it all up, it was an exciting game, and the Blue Jays were able to hold on, come back, and win it.
They had a 5-0 lead at one point in game 1 and saw that evaporate with a 7-run 4th inning. They came back and scored 4 in the 11th.
Four in the 11th, and they gave up 2 runs in the bottom of the 11th. They had 2 runners on base, and Osuna finished it off by striking out Alonso and then getting Kipnis to fly out. So a lot of excitement, a lot of energy and emotion spent by both teams in that first game.
This was a scheduled off day for both ball clubs, and they'll both head out after this game. Popped up behind home plate and back over the screen out of play.
There are a few bumps and bruises in that first game also. Ledmus Diaz, there was a collision at second base. He went down hard. Solarte slide into third base. Steve Pearce had to lead the game on a check swing.
Pearce has since been placed on the disabled list. Danny Barnes has been optioned to AAA Buffalo. Right off the end of the bat of Perez. Perez had an RBI single in the 4th inning. He walked and scored in that 9-run 5th inning. He was the first batter Santos faced, and Santos walked him. Breaking ball for called strike 3. 2 outs here in the 6th. Bradley Zimmer has had an interesting game too. He had a bases loaded walk, his second walk of the game. That was in the 5th inning. Struck out, called out on strikes his first time up. And here he lines one into center field. Zimmer's first hit of the game. The 14th hit for the Indians.
He's a nice looking player. Getting better and better the more we see him. He made a play, probably at that time, the defensive play of the game by throwing Solarte out at second base. A one hopper off the wall. He just grabbed it with his bare hand, threw a strike, picked up the outfield assist, his 4th already this year.
Now Gonzalez goes after a first pitch. Take a look at this great play by the center fielder Zimmer.
The only way he could have gotten the runner at second base. I mean, with room to spare too. That ball was smoked in the gap. He barehanded. Shows you some arm strength, some baseball savvy to finish off that play.
This ball is hit into the alley in left center, and it's going to be off the wall. Pilar plays it perfectly. A runner is being waved around third. There's the throw to the plate. It is a little bit late. Bradley Zimmer scores from first base on a double by Gonzalez. And boy, can he run. He ate up a lot of ground once again.
And that Gonzalez looks like he can swing the bats. You mentioned that he played second base in game number 1. He had a couple of hits, scored a run. And now this is his second double and his 4th RBI of the night. Hanging breaking ball again, and he hits it up the alley in left center field. Pilar does a good job of getting it back in quickly to Gurriel, and he's got a shot, but he short hops the throw home. 12-2.
He has made a pretty nice relay throw, but it was late as Zimmer slides in safely. Francisco Lindor, a couple of hits in 4 plate appearances. Oh, and 2. 6th inning. And the bottom of the order has had a big night. Perez, Zimmer, and Gonzalez. They have scored 5 runs. They have knocked in 6. Bottom third doing their part. The Indians had a 7-run inning in game 1. They've had a 9-run inning here in game 2, and they lost game 1.
Their offensive attack is relentless. A lot of good hitters up and down the lineup.
High fly ball to left field. Dwight Smith Jr. is there. He makes the catch. The inning is over. But Cleveland gets another run on a pair of hits. We'll go to the 7th. It's 12-2 Cleveland.
Kansas City has won 3 of the last 7 titles. And Sunday on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet 360, you can watch the trophy presentation, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 Pacific.
Buck, thank you very much. Luis Santos, he had a rough outing, and he was able to complete 2 innings. Actually, 1 2/3. A disappointing first appearance of the season for Santos, to be sure. So for the Blue Jays, it'll be Kevin Pillar, Kendrys Morales, and Dwight Smith Jr. Pillar is 0 for 2 so far. The Blue Jays have 2 runs on 4 hits. Adam Plutko making his major league debut as a starter.
And they are actually winning this game twice early on. Solarte hit a home run in the 2nd inning to give him a 1-0 lead. Donaldson's home run in the 4th inning gave him a 2-1 lead.
Carlos Ramirez starting to loosen up for the Blue Jays down in their bullpen. The Blue Jays bullpen was terrific in game 1. Pillar pulls it to 3rd. Long throw, plenty of time, 1 away. Gonzalez, you mentioned it, Pat. Looks like a good player, good utility player. Can play all over the diamond, and he's had a big game with the bat.
Well, if they're thinking about sending him down, he's out of options. Giovanni Ursula, another one of their young players, a 3rd baseman, was on a 20-day rehab, and they're trying to sort that out. It ended yesterday. And the talk around Cleveland was, well, one of them has to go. I'm not sending that guy down. Not what we've seen today from Gonzalez.
Ursula is a pretty good looking player as well. An embarrassment of riches for the Indians.
Plutko's been pretty impressive, if you ask me. Comes in, very simple windup, throws strikes, gives his team a chance. 7 in a row he has set down.
Yeah, and he has been in the strike zone from the first pitch. He retired to side in order in the 1st inning. A couple of strikeouts. He struck out Gurriel and Hernandez in the 1st. Gave up the home run to Solarte in the 2nd. Pulled on the ground. Lonzo made a step toward the baseball, gets back in plenty of time. 2 away. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell.
Now stepping in for Toronto, number 27, Dwight Smith Jr.
Boy, Tillman has had a rough start to his season. 5 earned runs on 5 hits in the 1st inning.
Did I read somewhere that Trout hit a home run 500 feet?
This ball is drilled off the wall in right field off the bat of Dwight Smith Jr. He's had a 2-hit night, a pair of doubles in his first big league game of the season. I'm not sure about the 500-foot home run. I saw it where it went.
It was a bomb from what I heard.
Yeah, he hit it way back into the bleachers beyond both bullpens in Anaheim.
Dwight Smith's going to hit this one hard. Picking on that first pitch. This is his 2nd double of the night. In fact, he's the only one the last 2 times through the lineup who's gotten a hit.
The Blue Jays have 3 doubles and 2 home runs, but they trail by 10. Luke Maley takes one in the dirt for ball 1. Dwight Smith Jr. was hitting .230 at AAA Buffalo. He had a couple of doubles and 2 home runs. He drove in 11 in just 61 at bats. But he's put a couple of good swings together tonight. He actually had 3 good at bats. Maley takes a strike. This is the third big league game for Adam Plutko. He got into 2 games back in 2016 with the Indians. A total of 3 2/3. Popped up into shallow left. Right at the edge of the grass is Lindor, the left fielder, and Melee's retired. A quick inning for Plutko. He's through 7 in his first start as a big leaguer.
Opportunity for fans, presenting a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go all in with Russell Martin and the Blue Jays on the field at Rogers Center. You can get tickets to the 55 Poker Classic in support of Jays Care. They are on sale now. Visit jayscare.com/poker to sign up and secure your spot today.
Russell Martin lending his name to a good cause with the Jays Care Foundation. New pitcher for the Blue Jays will be Carlos Ramirez.
Carlos worked in yesterday's ball game. The Twins through a third of an inning. Had a strikeout. This is his second game since being recalled. Did a good job for the Blue Jays last September when they brought him up. Fastball slider, says he's feeling pretty healthy right now. 13 major league games. Opponents have gone 6 for 55 against him. That's a 109 average.
And last year he came up and really put together a good stretch to start his career, as it was difficult for hitters to square him up. They hadn't seen him before, and he hides the ball very well. He threw a lot of strikes last year. He did a nice job. He had a little elbow problem in the spring. Didn't get a chance to really pitch much.
Yeah, I said he was getting underneath the ball because his elbow was hurting. Gave up a home run. There's a ground ball. But he says he's completely healthy now, so we should see some life on that fastball.
I got to tell you what, the Cleveland Indians busted down the line. Jason Kipnis hustled all the way down the line, despite the fact they're in the 7th inning, and it's a 12-2 game. Terry Francona's got a bunch of guys that understand how to play the game, and that's why they have had postseason appearances lately.
I think it's demanded of them, and I think they have a great leader by that shortstop. Lindor plays the game the right way.
You can see a little bit of a smirk on his face. Terry Francona probably thinking the same thing. Hey, Kipnis busted it down the line in the 7th inning of this second game of a doubleheader. That's the kind of effort that gets you through the hard times.
Well, it gains a lot of respect too. You know, you're sitting over there and you're watching the game played the right way.
Jose Ramirez did it back in the 5th inning when he hit a base hit to right field and hustled it into a double.
Yeah, he could have just Cadillac'd it down to first base and say, hey, I got myself an RBI single. They were up by 9 or 10 runs at the time, and he hustled and belly flopped into second base.
He's had a 3-hit game, lined out in his other plate appearance. He's raised his average 17 points in game 2. Full count now to the DH, Ramirez. Michael Brantley's had another good game against the Blue Jays. He is 1 for 3 with a sacrifice fly. Ramirez takes ball 4.
Buck, it's been a long day here. The Indians got beat in game number 1. We're now into the 7th inning, but watch how they play the game. This is a routine ground ball hit to the second baseman, and he hustles all the way to first base. Then Ramirez, an inning later, here's that bloop we were talking about. He's thinking 2 right here. It's a mindset. It's a way to play the game the right way. And if one guy does it, if your best player plays that way, it's going to filter all the way down through the rest of the team.
Everybody's got to do it. And then, too, if you approach every single at bat like that, you'll never get caught and embarrassed in a bad situation. Say an outfielder drops a ball and you don't bust it out of the box, you only get to first and not second.
Yeah, it just doesn't look right. You know, if you have aspirations of being a playoff team, that's how you have to play.
Once you get to the playoffs, like the Indians, young players, they sense that that's their lot every single year. Got to get to the postseason. This is a big year for Cleveland because they have 2 of their key relievers going to be free agents at the end of the season, Andrew Miller and Cody Allen. And they lost another key part of their bullpen this past offseason when Brian Shaw left to free agency. They just couldn't afford to sign him. And they're going to be up against the same type of thing.
I'm going to throw another reliever they lost, Joe Smith. Remember, they traded for Joe with the Blue Jays last year. Became a big part of what they did last year in the playoffs. He signed with Houston. No, it's just not the same.
Canada's favorite car cheers for Canada's favorite team. Honda, proud fan since 1977, and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
We are at Progressive Field in Cleveland. Brandon Geyer has come out of the dugout to take over as a pinch runner at first base for Michael Brantley. Brantley has dealt with ankle injuries the last couple of years. He's been on base many times tonight, so he is out of the ball game. Ramirez at second. Geyer at first. Yonder Alonso. Alonso did not start in game 1. He had a pinch hit at bat in the 11th inning and struck out. He's 1 for 4 in game 2.
Robbed of a hit, if you remember that play by Diaz back in the 4th inning. Ledmus came in, barehanded the ball, and just got him at first base. It's been good.
Now Ramirez is having trouble throwing strikes. Santos came into the game and walked the first 2 batters he faced. He walked 3 overall. Ball in the dirt, and Ramirez will not advance on a wild pitch. Little professional courtesy there. It's 12-2 Cleveland. We're in the 7th inning. There's another walk as Alonso walks. That'll load the bases. Let's check in again with Jamie Campbell. What a career. What a career for Albert Pujols. And he is a hit away from that magical 3,000 hit plateau.
Power, hitting ability. I mean, he's a surefire Hall of Famer easily. 600 home runs, right? Doesn't he have 600 home runs?
600 home runs. He'll have 3,000 hits.
It's only been done 3 times in Major League history. He would become the 4th with 3,600 home runs, 3,000 hits and 600 home runs.
Tyler Naquin with the bases loaded and pitches way outside. The other 3 that have had 3,000 hits along with 600 home runs: Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and A-Rod.
A-Rod. Wow.
Naquin goes after a pitch down and away. 1-2. Pujols began his career in 2001. Came up with the Cardinals, played every single day. Hit .329 as a rookie. 37 home runs, 130 RBIs. He was an all-star, finished 4th in the MVP voting, 1st in Rookie of the Year, won the Rookie of the Year award in National League, won a Silver Slugger. Naquin strikes out, chased a bad pitch in the dirt.
That's not bad for a 13th round draft pick, which he was by the Cardinals.
He was drafted out of Maple Woods Community College in Kansas City, Missouri. Went to high school in Fort Osage in Independence, Missouri. Of course, he was born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. He is now 38 years old and still getting it done.
You can stack his first 10 years in the big leagues with all the great names throughout history, and he'll match up, maybe even beat them. I'm talking the Hank Aaron's, the Willie Mays, the great ones, Joe DiMaggio. I mean, the all-timers.
Yeah, the first few years he was with the Cardinals, he was the best hitter in the game immediately. He hadn't really settled on a position yet. Roberto Perez takes strike 2. Ball goes back to the screen, and Ramirez is going to score. Bailey had to go right through his legs all the way back to the backstop. And that'll be another run for the Indians as Ramirez comes in to score the 13th run.
Wild pitch. Tried to finish him off with a slider. And that will score another run.
Two balls and 2 strikes now to the Indians catcher, Roberto Perez. He's 1 for 3 so far in this game. Chris Tillman started against the Angels. He lasted 1 inning plus 2 batters, gave up 7 runs on 7 hits. His ERA is now .924.
He had a pretty decent outing in his last outing. It's only the end of the 2nd inning over there.
Ground ball to short. Big hop for Diaz. That'll end the inning, but the Indians get another run on a wild pitch. 3 walks contributing to that extra run. is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. The Blue Jays won Game 1 of this doubleheader. Josh Donaldson homered in his second at bat in Game 2. A long drive deep up in the seats, but it has been all Cleveland in Game 2. 13-2, they lead it. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 15-5. For the Jays, it'll be 9-1-2, Diaz, Gurriel, and Donaldson. Brandon Geyer came on as a pinch runner for Michael Brantley. Takes over in left field. High deep drive to left field. Get up ball, and that ball is gone. Aledmus Diaz gets a hanging breaking ball and hits his 5th home run of the season. That's the only blemish on an otherwise good start for the pitcher, Adam Plutko.
Yeah, 2nd home run in this ballpark for Diaz this year. Remember that big 3-run home run he hit here on that Friday night that tied up and helped the Blue Jays eventually win that game. That's home run number 5. Another breaking ball. Same pitch that Solarte hit out in the 2nd inning. Diaz hits out here in the 8th.
Lourdes Gurriel leading off for the first time in his career. Another look at the home run.
Curve ball. He's out in front, but it speeds up his bat.
High pop-up down the left side. Playable. Foul territory. Lindor, the shortstop, makes the catch. Blue Jays have hit 3 home runs in this game.
Watch the weight shift. He stays back a little bit higher, leg kick, waiting for that ball to break over the plate. And when you catch it out in front, it speeds up your bat, and he hit it in the right spot, right down the left field line for a home run.
Adam Plutko in line for his first big league W in his first big league start. He'll give up the ball, leading 13-3 with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Terrific start for Plutko. His first big league game since 2016. He goes 7 1/3, gives up 6 hits. 3 of those hits were solo home runs. That accounted for the 3 runs. Didn't walk a batter and struck out 6. He's in line for his first major league win.
Pretty impressive night for him. He threw 104 pitches. He'll give way to Evan Marshall, who came up in between ball games as the 26th man. Those are his numbers in 8 games. He's a former 4th-round draft pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2011.
This year, AAA with the Indians appeared in 8 games, had a 0.84 earned run average. Walked one and struck out 8. Donaldson takes a strike. It's 1-1. Josh homered in game 1. He also homered here in game 2 in the 4th inning. He and Nervis Solarte, for the first time in franchise history, 2 teammates homering in each end of a doubleheader. Wow, there's a lot of late movement on that pitch.
Yeah, he's got fastball, sinker, slider, a little bit of a curveball, a lot of movement on those pitches. Short arms it a little bit. This is his fastball, right in on Josh's hands. He's able to foul it off. Profiles more as a setup man than as a closer. Look at that sink. Looks a little bit like Brian Shaw, one of the relievers that they lost to free agency. Shaw was such an important part of that bullpen. Give you multiple innings and could pitch every day.
Pitched every day for Francona. Anytime they needed him, he was ready. He would pitch in the middle of the game. He'd pitch late in the game. He'd close if you needed. Very versatile guy. Very important part of their success over the last several seasons. Donaldson strikes out, 2 away. Let's check in again with Jamie Campbell.
Twins lose.
The Twins had a 5-1 lead at one point in that ball game. They give up a run in the 9th. No swing according to the first base umpire, crew chief Jerry Davis. Teoscar Hernandez, his hit streak is in jeopardy. Hernandez extended his hit streak to a career high 9 games in game 1. Takes it down the stairs, a ball on the strike. Excuse me, 2 balls and no strikes. 13-3 Cleveland in game 2 of this doubleheader. Ground ball. Lindor right at the edge of the grass. Gathers and fires low. Dug out by Alonso at first. Nice play on both ends. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's all Cleveland. Time now for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Kevin Barker in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by Honda. You can count on us to get home safe. Honda, official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays and proud fan since 1977.
Been a lot of baseball played here today at Progressive Field. The Blue Jays won the opener 13-11. The Indians have a 13-3 lead as they're set to bat in the bottom of the 8th. Not been a good day for pitchers, except Adam Pletko. He's done a terrific job. Blue Jays relievers were good in game one. They came in and slammed the door and kept it where the Blue Jay hitters could take over late.
They were great in game number one. Barnes, Axford, Clipper, Tapera, Meza, Osuna.
Meza picks up his second big league win, his first win of the season.
7 2/3 innings out of the bullpen in game number one.
John Axford went a season high 2 1/3. What's really impressive, he threw 18 pitches. Bradley Zimmer. Zimmer had a big hit in game one, a 2-run single in the fourth. He had a bases loaded walk in the fifth in game two and singled and scored in the sixth. Jeff Beliveau, who was with the Blue Jays last year, warming up for Cleveland. Beliveau has been in 4 games since joining the Indians. Total of 2 1/3. Looks like he's going to come on and pitch the ninth. Zimmer takes ball 4. Ramirez has walked 4 batters since he's come into this ball game. We didn't see that last year from him.
Not at all. I mean, he was filling up that strike zone with his fastball slider combination. Second game of this season. He pitched in yesterday's game.
Big game for Eric Gonzalez, the number 9 hitter. He's 3 for 4. He's driven in 4 runs. There's a pair of doubles and a single. Had a good cut at that pitch, up and away.
Pitchers just get into a groove sometime and they just mow them down. Ramirez last year, he didn't give up a run, did he, in the minor leagues?
I don't think he gave up a run in AAA. Had a great start to his season.
Yeah.
Carried it into the big leagues.
Rolling right along. I thought he had an outside chance of making the team out of spring training, but then he got hurt. Gave up a long home run in a game at Lakeland. There's a good slider to finish off the hitter. And then missed some time in spring training, and that messed up his chances of trying to make the team.
Yeah, Ramirez had an elbow issue in the spring. He's finally healthy and sound once again. Francisco Lindor coming to the plate for a 6th time in this game.
His 12th at bat of the day. He had 3 hits, 2 home runs, and 4 RBIs in game 1. 2 hits, 2 RBIs here in game 2.
Pulls that one on the ground. Morales makes a nice stab. Return throw not in time. Morales gets the lead runner at second. Lindor beats out the return throw. Fielder's choice for the shortstop.
Still busting it up the line, too. He has now played 19 innings tonight. He's had 12 at bats, and look how he still plays the game the right way. Look at him bust it and beats it out. I don't think anybody would have said anything if he just jogged up the line and just gave up the at-bat. But he plays the game the right way.
That's not how he's wired, that's for sure. Jason Kipnis. Kipnis has 1 hit in 4 official at-bats. He walked in the 5th inning. The Indians sent 13 batters to the plate in the 5th inning. He scored 9 runs on 7 hits. They were helped out in that inning by 3 walks. Fouled out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the 8th inning. Looks like these two will split the doubleheader, and they'll both fly out of Cleveland. Indians will go to New York. Blue Jays will go to St. Petersburg to play the Tampa Bay Rays tomorrow night.
Blue Jays still win the series. It just took about 3 or 4 weeks to get her done.
And a tough game too for the manager and the pitching coach. Kipnis pulls it through the right side into right field. His 2nd hit of the game. Lindor moves up to 2nd.
It's time to fire up your senses. Your best experience begins with Broil King. Available at your local home hardware. Here's how.
Jose Ramirez, he's been the DH in game 2. He's had 3 hits in the game. Hit a 2-run home run in the 5th. He has also singled and doubled. He's a triple shy of the cycle. He walked and scored. He scored the 13th run in the 7th inning. His average at 280. That'll lead to seats down the left side. There are some fans still hanging out here. This game started about 3 o'clock. Excuse me, game 1 started about 3 o'clock, and then 30 minutes later, game 2 started. Game 2 started at 8:30 local time.
They were probably here at 12:30 too. Game 1 was supposed to start at 1 o'clock, and there were fans here waiting it out.
It was raining at 1 o'clock, and we had a 1 hour and 53-minute rain delay before the start of game 1.
I like your suggestion. Let's go around and start giving all these fans tickets.
How about that? There's not that many people here. Say, you know what? You've been loyal fans. You're hanging out to the end of the game. We're going to give you 2 free tickets. It's been a long game for John Adams. Yeah, he does. Got to lean up against this scoreboard there. Inside. 3-2 now. 2 outs. Lindor at 2nd. Kipnis at 1st. That's ripped into the seats. And there's a Blue Jay fan got a souvenir. He's rewarded for being a loyal fan, hanging out.
Stick around and you're going to get yourself a foul ball. Turned out to be a nice night, hasn't it?
Yeah, and there was a point where there was the thought that maybe Blue Jays wouldn't even fly to Cleveland because the weather report was so bad. There's a drive to right. Going to hang up for Hernandez, and the Indians are retired in the bottom of the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. It's all Cleveland. Down to St. Petersburg to take on the Rays tomorrow night. It all starts at 6:30 p.m. on Sportsnet 1. That's the pregame show. Jay Happ will go up against Andrew Kittredge. It'll be a bullpen day for the Rays. Then Sanchez and Faria on Saturday. Marco Estrada and Chris Archer will wrap things up on Sunday. A 3-game series against Tampa Bay. First time these two clubs will meet this season.
So what is a bullpen day? That's where it's just what it says. You don't have a starter.
What happens is your 5th starter blows out his elbow in spring training, Brett Honeywell, and they have to go to the bullpen day.
Yeah, every 5th day, so no reliever will throw more than 30 pitches. So we'll see a parade of relievers tomorrow. Here's another reliever. This is the 2nd reliever of the night for the Indians in Game 2. Jeff Beliveau, the former Blue Jay. Fastball, curveball, cutter. He's been around for a long time. He was originally drafted back in 2008 by the Cubs.
And Elvis Solarte has tied the franchise record for hits in a double play with 7. Double header, excuse me. And he's going to set the record. His 8th hit in the double header, a new franchise record for a player. He was tied with Paul Molitor, and that will be a new franchise record for 8 hits in both ends of a doubleheader.
What an impressive day for Solarte. He's played 3rd base, he's played 2nd base, he's played 1st base today, and he's done this. He has swung the bat with authority. Won Game 1 all by himself with that grand slam home run in the 11th. Followed that up with the home run his first time up here in Game 2.
Kevin Pillar is 0 for 3 so far. Pillar extended his hit streak in Game 1 to 8 straight. Needs a hit here to keep it alive. Up the middle, that'll sneak through for a base hit. Beliveau swiped at it. Sounded like it hit his glove, but had enough on it to get in to center field for Pillar, and that will keep his hit streak alive.
Yeah, just glanced right off of his glove. Good hitting right there from Pillar. Sends it right back through the middle. He looks at it, thinks he has it, but it just glances off his glove and out into center field. That's how you extend a hit streak.
Your final opportunity keeps it alive. Kevin had 2 hits in Game 1. Kendrys Morales, he's had a tough day at the plate. 0 for 6 in game 1. 0 for 3 here in game 2. He goes after the first pitch and lifts a high fly ball to right. On the warning track, Solarte will tag. He'll move over to third. He won't slide this time. So Solarte with a terrific day at the plate. A home run, a double, and a single in game 2. He had 5 hits in game 1. So Dwight Smith Jr.'s had quite a night. His first big league game of the season. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles.
Everybody's going to want to sit next to Solarte on the plane. He is so red hot right now.
Solarte's average after a terrific doubleheader at 287. At the start of play in game 1, he was batting 238. Pulled on the ground, foul. One ball, one strike on Smith. Pulled sharply. Nice play by Alonso. It's a foot race to the bag, and Belleville gets there. Smith is retired on the play. Solarte comes in to score. And it was bang, bang. Nice play by Alonso. Take extra bases away from Dwight Smith. So the Blue Jays are going to have a look at it just to see if Smith might have beat it. And Gibbons will say, wait a minute now. Home plate umpire said, really? Brian Knight's the home plate umpire, and
yeah,
they're going to wave it off. Jerry Davis, the crew chief, looked like he looked into John Gibbons and said, really? You're going to go to the replay with 2 outs in the 9th? I think Gibbons was thinking they got to stand up for my player. So the Blue Jays, Luke Maile down to their final out. Maile 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Blue Jays have 4 runs on 8 hits. The Indians 13 runs on 16 hits. Blue Jays had 6 doubles and 3 home runs in game 1. They have 2 home runs and 3 doubles in game 2. And they continue to get the extra base hits. Be another souvenir for the fans.
Josh Donaldson's had a big day today, so is he. Very formidable. Top of that lineup.
Solarte, a terrific doubleheader. A new record in Blue Jays franchise history. 8 hits in a doubleheader. Outside, 3 balls and a strike to Luke Maile.
Luke looking for his first hits. He had a big walk in game 1 to really start that 2-out rally in the 11th inning.
You're right. He was pinch hitting for Curtis Granderson. He worked Olson for the walk, and Donaldson would double. Teoscar Hernandez would walk and load the bases for Solarte, who had a grand slam. Curtis Granderson with 3 walks and a hit in the first game, on base 4 times. Belleville appeared in 19 games for the Blue Jays last year, just a total of 15 2/3 innings. Three and 2 to Maley, with Pilar at second. He walks. That'll keep the inning alive and bring Aledmus Diaz to the plate. Diaz hit his 5th home run of the season back in the 8th inning. Hit a breaking ball off of the starter, Adam Plutko.
Been flawless on defense tonight. Also drove in his 11th run.
Goes after the first pitch. One and one now to the Blue Jays shortstop. Diaz's home run went 358 feet up onto the deck above the fence in left. Off speed pitch, up and away. The hot dog can't believe it. Looked like a good pitch to him. Inside for ball 3.
Wow. We have seen a lot of pitches tonight. Diaz now can sell out 3-1. He can look for that fastball now.
Got the fastball, but found it out of play. Full count, 2 away. Pilar's at second, Maley's at first. They'll be moving on the pitch, and time has been granted. So we'll do it again. Belleville's set now. There go the runners. Popped out of play. Blue Jay pitchers have walked 8 in this game. They've given up 13 runs on 16 hits.
That walk to Luke Maley was the first walk by the Indians pitching tonight in game 2.
Ball 4. Second walk. Back-to-back walks here in the ninth. In a 13-4 ball game. Belleville coming in just trying to close out the game. And he has walked the bases loaded.
Second baseman, Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Carl Willis will go out and try to help Belleville get through this inning. Needs one more out to close out the Blue Jays. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has gone 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts, leading off for the first time in his young career.
Well, he's the kind of player, I think, the more he plays, the better he's going to get. As the hot dog with the stadium mustard. He's seen enough.
Yeah.
He's done.
He's out of gas. He's had to run around the bases a couple of times tonight.
That guy should get season tickets for playing as hard as he has tonight.
Bases are loaded for Gurriel. Gurriel had a 3-hit game in game 1. Scored a run and drove in a run. He's 0 for in game 2. Takes the ball inside. Ball 2. Well, the last thing the Indians want to do is warm up another relief pitcher. They've got a tough series ahead of them, just like the Blue Jays.
Yeah, they're heading to New York, and they don't want to burn up any of their #1 relievers. Terry Francona is just looking for some mop up here.
Not even close. 3-0. Beliveau has walked 2 after 2 were out. .3-0 pitch to Gurriel. He'll certainly take a pitch. There's a strike. The hot dog is thrilled. It'll be a full count now as Gurriel fouls it out of play. (13-4). The Indians are about ready to wrap up the second game of this doubleheader. Blue Jays won the first one. Full count, 2 outs. There go the runners. Drilled to short. Lindor gathers, fires, and that's the ball game. The Indians' big bats broke out in game 2, and they won it. They split the doubleheader. Jose Ramirez had a big game, 3 hits, a 2-run home run, drove in 3. Lindor with 2 more hits. Bottom of the order did a nice job getting on base and turning the lineup over. Eric Gonzalez had 4 RBIs and a 3-hit effort.
Yeah, and this is a team, I think, the Indians, that will be there when it's all said and done. Blue Jays aren't going to see them now for a couple of months, but they'll be right there in the playoff picture. They've got too much talent, too many good young players. Blue Jays, they end up winning this series. They won about 3 weeks ago, game 1. They won the first game of the doubleheader. They'll now pack up and head down to Florida for a big game, starting a big series against Tampa tomorrow night.
We appreciate you hanging with us through the doubleheader. The Blue Jays split 2 games here in Cleveland. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night from St. Pete. Now stay tuned. Here's Blue Jays Central. Jamie, Joe, and Kevin. Take it away.